The Paris Saint-Germain is making headline again, but it's not with the men this time, it's with the women. Привет, it's joanaswan. I hope you're doing well. With some players are not doing too well in Paris Saint-Germain. In fact, Kara Hamrish is like on the top, and Aminata Diallo are not doing too well. One has been injured and stuck at home, and one is being simply put in jail. Are those two things, two elements, two players related? Yes, and more than once. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. So you have about a week ago some events organized by the Paris Saint-Germain, and they were, of course, invited as they're both players of the teams. They play for the same position. So they're, against one another, but Hamre, she's like older than Aminata Diallo. She has also more experience. So Kay Hamre, she's used to be a player of Paris Saint-Germain a very long time ago. She's 31. Aminata Diallo, she's 26. She has played in different clubs. She has played in Saint-Etienne, Paris, then she played for Lyon for a little bit, then Barca, and she decided to come back. She had a lot of selection with the French teams. She haven't been seen on the French team for quite some time, and she was recently called back from the coach. She has a lot of titles. So this is like Kara Hamre, and we're really happy that she's back. Aminata Diallo, she's 26, so she's younger. She has played in a very young age at Lyon, and then she played for Guingamp, and she played for Paris Saint-Germain. She was on loan at Royal de Luta and Atletico de Madrid before coming back to Paris Saint-Germain. So they are both really entitled to the club and could be selected for the French team. So this is what summarized the both of them. So what's the issue? What's going on is that during that party a week ago, Aminata Diallo was dropping Hamre at her place technically, and they had an aggression. So only one person got injured. It was Hamre, and they used like a steel bar to hit her in the legs, like she's an ITT. In French, you mean like you cannot do anything, you cannot work for anything for about like 8 days. She, of course, went to the police, and she asked for an investigation of what's going on, because two men come to her and decide to have a strong aggression on her. It was really brutal. Of course, she's going to go to the police and try to sue who is responsible of that. And the client kind of kept it quiet and everything. But what happened this morning, her player, co-team's player, Aminata Diallo, was in the police station. They didn't ask her to come. They didn't send her a letter. They come at 6 o'clock in the morning to take her out of the bed and put her technically in custody. So that's wrong. Like, that's wrong. I mean, like, she must have been involved, and it was like a week ago, because the party was like the event happened like on the night of the November 4th, and today we're November 10. So they had some times to have some investigation and start to see if things could lead to one person, and another person was also called, but that person is not directly related to Aminata Diallo. So when I'm going to tell you some story why I think we have like a case against Aminata Diallo. Of course, right now she has a right to be a judge, and she's proven innocent until proven guilty. But this is one of my reasons. This is some of my reasons why I think she's like the primer, the base of the suspicion, and why I think she may have something to do with it, directly or indirectly with it. She might have organized it. So number one, the reason is that she's arrested from home. They didn't bother to ask her if she can come and ask if she can give some additional information. They took her out of bed. So this is like a very, very, very bad sign. Like, you don't do that unless like you're on the top list of the person that you think is gonna be guilty. I'm gonna put that over here because hey, yeah, that's gonna be much better. So this is one of the main reasons. Like, you took her out of bed. So this is bad, really bad. Number two, they're both direct opponent, meaning that they're in competition for the same position for the Paris Saint-Germain and for the French team. So whenever Hammer cannot play, Aminata Diallo is the one who's going to get a call. So they cannot get along that much, you know. She's supposed to replace her. So they're not going to be bestie. So that's the second reason why she make a very good suspect. Number three, attack. It was like too specific, like really, really much too specific. Like when you see that, you're like, that's not good. Like, why they're targeting a legs, specifically a legs? What was it? Everything is too specific. Like, they didn't steal anything, just to have the wallet and everything. Like, nothing was stealing, but just the attack. Focus on the legs. Weird. Number four, Diallo, she's in touch. So Aminata Diallo, she's totally in touch. She's fine. They say they restrained her from the car. Yeah, they say Hammer received some really bad message, like say that they're gonna do stuff to her, but you know, we always get those. And the club already submit like a public announcement about it, say they were doing everything to protect the player. Number 5. Like I said before, nothing was stolen. So I'm going to be very specific. When you try to rob someone, you take the wallet, the money, nothing. So this is why I said the attack was too specific to the legs. But as nothing was stolen, I'm like, what's going on there? So there's like some of my very, very top suspicious item. Number 6, the conclusion. The conclusion is very, very, very clear. Sorry. The conclusion, maybe I should put it here. The conclusion is very, very clear. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to remind you a story. And then you're going to tell me if you think they're both related or not, because that brings me some very, very old memory. Okay, so if I tell you, in 1994, this is why we think it has some internal rivalry. If I tell you ice skating, does that ring the bell? If I tell you Olympic Games. So back in 94, we have the case of Harding Kerrigan, that she was like on the top list for being a gold medalist, or just any medals at all. And she had an aggression a few weeks before with Steel Bar. Had one of her leg, and they happened. He was like all made it possible by the family of Tanya Harding, that she's one of the prime opponents. So this is one of the reasons, like, we tend to think, maybe something to it. There are some other rumors and stuff that's been going on that I won't share for sure, because, you know, talking about the past of Aminata Jallow, let's say the person she's acquainted with, does make it even more like it. So I think she need a good lawyer. Apparently she went there without a lawyer. Maybe she played, I don't know. But this is not a good story. This is not what I call something that is going to be, if it's not something that's going to be reflected pretty well for Paris Saint-Germain. I'm sorry to hear that. This is one of the things, like, unfortunately, we cannot control, and we have to deal with. But I'm very sad that we have such great player that is in jail and one is stuck at home. And the thing is, like, we didn't see her on a training nowhere is because they're saying she was out for personal reason. Yeah, very personal reason, we can say. So I hope everything will be sorted out. And if you want to follow more about me, you know, you can find me on my social network at joanaswan.com/page lien. And you're going to find my Twitter, my Instagram, my over YouTube channels. Everything's going to be listed there. So thank you a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and to click on the bell, you know, for full support. And I hope you do it well. And let's switch for a better end for the Paris Saint-Germain. Bye. Thanks for watching again. Subscribe. Paris PSG, tous ensemble on chantera cet amour qu'on a pour toi, qui ne cessera jamais.